Hey everybody, it's Travis speaking. And for our next video in this Revit series, I wanted to take a look at some more complex stuff with creating walls. And it comes at a pretty appropriate time because a friend of mine recently asked me how you might create a board and batten wall type in Revit. And I think the best manner to do that is to probably do it in a two-step process. So to create a wall type that's similar to your board and batten, save for the strips that go on the outside, and then create those as a sweep after the fact. So let's take a look at this process. I'm going to come up here to my second floor where I already have this complete, and I just want to show you what this wall assembly looks like right now. If I come into this wall here, you'll notice that when I select it, the wall itself is highlighted, but the strips are separate. So if we come up to this wall type now and take a look at it, and by doing the edit type button and just click in here and edit under structure, you're going to see the makeup of this wall. So on the outside we've got the siding, and so these are going to be the first layer of boards, and so I've got that at 1 3/8 inches. That's probably a little thick, but you know, whatever your application, you can modify that. And I've got an air barrier, some sheathing. Now this is typically going to be a strapping, so it's going to be 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's going to look the same in plan, so you don't really need to worry about how it looks. But so the plywood sheathing works as a material, but you might want to cover this in your wall assemblies. Maybe if you're doing a schedule specifically, this is going to be something that you'll want to detail and section. But anyway, so you can see we have the overall wall type here, and it's going to be the overall thickness minus the thickness of these here, these little sweeps. So with that wall created, I come in afterwards with this profile, and to do that, what we need to do first is create a profile for our sweep. So let's take a look at how we might do that. I'm going to come up to my application menu, and I'm going to say new, but I want to make sure that I'm opening up a new family. And I'm going to come down to the profile here that says, the template that says profile, and I'm going to open that up. And you'll notice that my interface changes for the family editor. So all I'm doing, this is a really simple procedure here. I'm just coming up to my rectangle tool in the draw tools, and I'm just going to draw in a rectangle. And I can just draw that in rough and then modify the dimensions after the fact. So by choosing an adjacent line, I can give this a depth of 5/8. And I'll select this one. It's a 3/4 inch strip right now. I want that to be 1 inch, and there you have it. Okay, so what I'll do first is I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save it as a family. And it's already in my profiles folder because that's where I've been creating these. And you can see I've got a couple other versions. I'm going to call this I'm just going to call this 1 by, no, that's not going to let me do it. I'm just going to call it batten strip. Okay, so I hit save, and now I'm going to load this into my project. And what I can do is I'm just going to come along the back here, but I'm going to do this in a 3D view so I can take a look at this. And I'm going to come back to architecture, hit wall, and go to sweep. And I want to make sure that I have vertical sweep loaded here, and I'm just going to place that anywhere along that wall. Because now when I select that sweep, I'll get a temporary dimension that I can change. I'll make that 8 inches. And it moves it over, and now essentially all I need to do is create a pattern or a rectangular array. So I'm going to go to the main floor to do that, and if I zoom in over here, I can see that I've got my my sweep, and I'll just come here to the array and making sure that group and associate is checked on, and I'm going to move to the second one. This just allows me to do a center to center spacing, and so I'll type in 8 inches for that. and then you'll notice that I get an option to put in the number. So let's say 36. For the time being, we'll hit enter and we'll see what happens there. Okay, so 36 isn't enough with that spacing. Let's try 52. And if we go over, it won't matter because Revit is going to calculate how many we've put in there. Not sure if that's part of it. If I hit delete, okay. So we can take that out, and now if I come back to my 3D view, you'll see that I've got this Board and Batten effect going on along the back. Now this is really nice because if you take a look up here where I've already done this, if I decide to take my wall that the Board and Batten family is hosted on and I say attach top base and go to my roof, then it's going to follow the profile of that roof where it's cut along the gable. So that's really nice. And if you come to your roof now and you modify the slope on that, so if I change this say to from a 4 to a 6, you'll see those live updates with the strip. So that's pretty handy. There is another way of going about this, which is creating another wall on top. So it's a little bit more work, but you also have a little bit more control. So let's take a look at that method. Along the back here, you'll notice that when I select these strips, they all select at once, and the reason being is that this is another wall that I've placed over top of this existing wall. So you'll notice that when I select it, it's actually saying basic wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit reset profile, and that's going to put that 5/8 wall, it's going to do it just the way I drew it initially. So let's take a look at that. I'll select that and say edit profile, and I'll look at that from the north elevation. And as you can see here, I've got an overall profile outline. So the strip itself was to be, let's just place it anywhere, and I'm just making a new rectangle. Again, I'm just going to select my line work, and then I'll modify this to 1 inch, and then come over here to this one. I'll bring that 8 inches off the corner like we did before. Oh, just get this over here. Do some of that rough work just by dragging it. Okay, so I got a perfect inch there. Nice. Alright, so now, because I know that's a full rectangle, I can just grab these other lines and I'm going to delete these. So basically whatever my pink line are, that's my pink lines are going to be the new profile for this wall. But I don't want just one of those in there. I want to create more. So I'll select the entire profile and come up to the copy feature. Multiple is already selected. So what I'm going to do is just come in here and I'm going to drag over until I get 8 inches. Okay, so as you can see, this isn't as quick as using the patterns, but you do have a little bit more control over the overall profile. So let's just hit the check mark for the time being, and we'll take a look at that in 3D and see how that looks. So something to bear in mind, if you do it using this method, you're using a wall. If you're doing schedules, this will count. You will want to exclude these from your wall scheduling. And the other thing is too, if we come in here and I bring this roof in, if I attach this wall now to this roof, I might have detached it, these won't go up to the roof. That's just simply going to be what you drew is what you get. So I would probably go about this with the sweep. It's a little bit quicker, a little bit better process. So that's how you could create a Board and Batten look on a wall type. And again, if there's any questions or comments, please feel free to leave one below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Bye now.